Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, this is, what a great night. Thank you so much for being here. I can't believe this, but I was thinking back, and I actually started this comedy journey way back in 1997. That was the first time I had ever done a comedy show, 1997. And it was hard doing comedy being from the North back then. You know, there was no open mic nights. There was nowhere for me to hone my craft. I'd go 6 months to a year sometimes between shows. In that time, you can't get good by doing it every 6 months to a year. Every once in a while, I'd get booked at Southern Ontario, and I'd have to drive like 8 hours for like a $100 payday. By the time I paid gas and got a hotel room, I was out $300. You gotta love this stuff because you don't get paid very much. I wish I was starting my comedy career today. I really do. Because today in the North, we have open mic nights, you know, monthly, some places weekly. You can go and you could hone your craft. And if you have to travel out of town, you know, for the $100 payday, you could save some money because you don't have to get a hotel room. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but right across Canada, in most cities, they have free camping at the local kids' parks. It's amazing. You get to relive your youth, go down the slide, go on the swings, and one of the best parts is you don't have to share the park with any kids because families don't go anymore. You just might have to share it with one of the local crackheads who may or may not be naked holding a machete over his head, but they tuck themselves out. I was doing this, and at the same time as starting my comedy thing, I actually I got a career. I started a career as a police officer. I know they're very different careers. I started as a police officer and doing comedy on the side. Oh, most of the time. All right. Mustn't have any criminals in here, I'm guessing. Yeah, I started my comedy career, and then I became a police officer. And right around 2015, we organized the first ever Timmins Comedy Festival in my hometown right here in Timmins. And we had some amazing comedians, and I got to work with them. And all of a sudden, in 2016, I started getting booked to do shows, and I started getting paid way more than $100. I'd make like $300. And I was getting to travel, which was amazing, right? I got to go all the way up to Iqaluit, which is pretty crazy. I would never go there, but I got to do comedy there. And I was traveling, I got to do Cobalt, so look at me bragging of places I get to go to that you guys could only dream of. So things were picking up. All of a sudden, I get a call from an agency who want to represent me and book comedy for me. And I thought, this is amazing. I actually got to go on a tour with a pretty famous comedian as his opening act. And we were traveling, and we ended up doing a show right here in Timmins to end the tour. And it was amazing. It was right in this theater. And that night, I made a joke. Because when I do shows, I like to, you know, whenever I'm going to a new city, I do some research. I go on social media, I look at the news, right? Because I want to make it part of that community. When I do the show, I want like local jokes kind of thing. And I was doing it here in Timmins, so it was super easy. Well, let me rephrase. I just meant it was easy because that's where I was from. Somebody went, yeah, all right. So I made a joke about a local politician, and the following Monday, I got called to the chief's office. Ooh. And the chief looked at me and went, that's it, no more comedy. He actually didn't say it like that. He said, we're going to have to revoke your secondary employment. But to me, it sounded like, that's it, no more comedy. And I got to tell you, I was heartbroken. I really was. It hurt. Because this is a passion. This was something in the policing world, you see stuff and you do stuff and you're like, you know, you need that outlet. And this was my outlet and I was losing it. Plus, I helped raise, thousands of dollars with the comedy shows that we did in Timmins, and I wasn't going to be able to do that anymore. And so I was hurting. I really was. And then he hit me with 40 hours of pay. I lost 40 hours of pay for a joke. 40 hours of pay. So in 2020, I left policing, and now I could say whatever I want. I even released an album that's available on all the streaming services, and it's called The Cops Can't Stop Me Now. So it's like I just fell right back into the career. All the comedians that I were working with, they're like, you're back again? Yeah, let's go. And the comedy career took off again. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm back into it. It's fantastic. But the best part, I got to do festivals. I got to do comedy clubs. The best part, better than that, is I got a call from the new chief. He left me a voicemail and said, hey, Rick, it's the chief. Can you call me right away, please? And I was thinking, I had just did a show in Timmins. I was like, he can't. I don't work there. But he can't do nothing. What is... So I call him back, and he says, hey, we're hosting a conference here in Timmins for police officers. There's going to be the chiefs from the region and supervisors. We'd like to hire you to do entertainment for us at this conference. I said, well, let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you, Chief. I hung up and I talked to some of my friends. They're like, you better not do that. They screwed you, man. Don't do that. And I was like, no. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I called him back and I said, I'm up for it, Chief. I'm good to go. My favorite part of the story was when he said, how much do you charge? And I got to say 40 hours of pay. At time and a half. I fucking got to... So I worked 20 years as a police officer, and I love my career. Don't get me wrong. I have so much respect for first responders. I really do. I just poke fun at the career, because the career is hilarious. Like you see, and one thing I was not expecting during my 20 years as a police officer is I would learn all these different ways to break the law and get away with it. Because I know what police would be looking for. You know what I mean? I was like, I could teach you guys tonight if you like. We could do something tonight. And for the people watching at home, we'll go on social media and we'll let them know how it goes. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Right at the end of the night, the last thing I'm going to say to you is, okay, meet me downtown. That'll be your cue to meet me downtown. There's no, it's not like a riddle. When I say meet me downtown, you'll meet me downtown. And this is what we're going to do. All right? We're going to steal a lot of stuff from all the stores in the downtown core. Like, we have to steal a lot to make this work. All right, we'll steal as much. Everything that you need, steal that, plus, extra. Keep going. All right? But here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave a trail of some of the property that we don't really want anyways. We'll leave a trail every 20 or 25 feet behind us. And we'll lead the K-9 unit with the police service right to Tent City. You know the public and the community is not going to question it. Imagine I was still an officer today, I would lose way more than 40 hours giving these secrets away. This is it though. In policing, you actually have, it's all about moments in policing. You get these moments, sometimes you're dealing with somebody or you get called somewhere and somebody's having the worst day of their life. And you get to be that person to go there and help that person. It is an amazing feeling. And the connections you make with people as a police officer are amazing. There's no other word for it. It's amazing what you're going to feel. I'll give you an example. Every once in a while during my shift, right, I would go to Dollarama, pick up some snacks or whatever. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but when you leave Dollarama, there's usually like a homeless person there asking for something. And every once in a while, I give them like a $50 bill, a $100 bill sometimes. And the moment is amazing with that person. They look at you and they it's almost like a love. You feel it's just an amazing feeling. I can't even describe it in words. It feels so good. Some of you are looking at me going, that's a lot of money. Don't be too concerned. It was usually like money that I would have got from an earlier investigation, like for fraudulent money. You know what I mean? Like counterfeit money. So the money wasn't real, but the moment, that's real. It's a real moment. And then later on in the shift, when that person would go to use that $50 bill or a $100 bill, the store would call the police. And now I have an arrest for my stats. It's like win-win. And now he gets a nice warm place for the night. Win, win, win. You guys looking at me like I did something wrong? It has been a little crazy lately. I don't know. I left policing in 2020, and I want you to start thinking right now, when did the shit hit the fan? I don't want to say there's a correlation, but by round of applause, who has had something stolen from their yard or their car, or I mean, maybe even your home? By round of applause. Wow. That's got to be a weird feeling, applauding for getting stuff stolen from you. You know what we could do? Actually, I just thought of something that we could do tonight before we go on our crime spree. Before that, you know what we could do is we will go to Tent City. We'll get a sign, right, that has like free drugs written on it. And we'll just stand at one end of the park. And when they all make their way to me at that end of the park, you guys go back in the tents and get your stuff back. Oh. I'm going to get some emails tonight, I think. Some people... I get nervous, poking fun at less fortunate people. But this is comedy. We should be able to make fun of everything. Everything should be up, for laughter. Because things are funny. It's funny. Some things are funny, and I know some things you don't want to hurt people. I get it. Like, I got a good friend of mine, and he is an advocate for homeless people. I commend him for it. Good on him. He is not here tonight because he knew that I was going to talk a little bit about homeless people. And he was just so against it. And he's like, you can't do that, man. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? He goes, it's not their fault. I said, yeah, I know, but like, my dad has a funny French accent and everybody laughs at him. That's not his fault either. So he looks at me and he says, listen, one of my best friends is homeless. And that's why you can't do it. And I was thinking, one of your best friends is homeless? Your best friend? You don't have a spare room at home? You don't have a couch at home? At least I'm including him. You're staying at home playing Xbox while your best friend sleeps in a tent. When I was an officer, I loved walking the beat. I'd go on the beat all the time, and I got to talk with a lot of the homeless population in our community, got to know a lot of them, a lot of good people who are just struggling. I really enjoyed that part of the job. walking the beat and talking to people. If we have any local, merchants here that have shops downtown, you might have seen me. I'd walk into the stores. And I remember I was walking the beat one night. I walk into a store, the Brick actually, and there was a lady working there, and she says, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm walking the beat. And she says, "Why?" And I said, "Well, just to protect everybody, just to keep the community safe." And she says, "You're alone?" I said, "Yeah." And she looked at me and went, "Don't go in the laneways." Lady, that's my job. I have no problem walking in the laneways. I mean, I guess it helps when you have a duty belt and you have all these use of force options on you, right? Although even when I'm off, I walk through the laneways. I talk to everybody. You do see some weird shit, though, in the laneways. Like there's little hidden areas that you can't really see when you're just walking by. But if you walk into the laneway, I walked into the laneway one time, and I saw there was two guys, all right? One on top of the other. The guy was laying on the ground. The other guy was straddling him, and whatever. Whatever makes you happy, it's fine. I don't really care. It was just a weird thing to see, and as I'm walking closer, and I don't know why I'm still walking towards them. As I'm getting closer, I start to realize that the guy on the ground has no shirt on. Which is, okay, whatever, Make you happy? You're happy? Good, I'm happy for you. And he's soaking wet. Like he was just splashed in the face with a bucket of water or something. So, okay, that's weird, but whatever. But now I look, and the other guy that's on top of him is twisting his nipples. And not like in a playful way. Like when you're trying to open the pickle jar? Like he's really... And I just giggled like a schoolgirl and I walked away. I thought, I don't know what to say. Gentlemen, all right, enjoy your evening. It's a weird thing to see. I went to school to become a police officer. I did. I took a program back in the mid-90s called law and security. I feel like I got to slow it down. I got to say law and security. When I say law and security, it sounds like I want to work for the weed man or something. And they taught me all the things that I think are really important. They taught me how to communicate with confidence, about ethics, arrest authorities. They taught me all these different things, but they really didn't teach me that you would be dealing with some of the stupidest people in the world. And I know that's not nice to say, but most of the criminals that I dealt with are just stupid. I guess the smart ones get away with it, right? It leaves the stupid ones for us to deal with. The smart ones are getting away with it. They're stealing as much stuff as they can and leaving a trail to Tent City. I should do a TED Talk, how to get away with crimes. But you deal with the stupidest people. They say the stupidest things. Things that you're like, come on, Like, I hate hearing this. This is something all officers, and we have officers here tonight, they'll tell you the same thing. When you pull somebody over or you're dealing with somebody and they go, "Do you know who I am?" I don't really give a shit, put your seatbelt on. That's it. It's not... Or they say stuff like, "Do you know who my dad is?" And I couldn't help myself. When I would hear that, I couldn't help it. I'd always say, "Why, your mom didn't tell you?" I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Or when you arrest them, this is the one that we hate the most. You arrest them and they say, "I know my rights." And you're thinking, like we're keeping it a big secret. You should know your rights. What are you talking about? Of course you know. And even if you don't know, I'm about to give them to you, dumbass. And they look at you like, "You have to give me my Miranda rights." You see, you think you're using the right word. You think you use the big word that you don't understand, so you think you're saying the right thing, but you really don't. That's why I think we watch way too much Law and Order in Canada. We watch it way too much. You watch the show, within 45 minutes, they've gone through the whole investigation, court, everything's done. That's not how it works in the real world. Although sometimes things just fall into your lap. I got a call for a robbery at the CIBC in downtown. This career criminal, and I think it's ridiculous if you're a career criminal to do this, he thought it was a great idea to get a snake tattoo on his neck. Not a little, like around his neck. I get this call, right? Robbery, CIBC. I walk in, talking to the lady, and I said, can you get the film or video? Is there video, surveillance video we can see? And she says, yeah, no problem, I got it. As she's walking away, she goes, oh, he had a huge snake tattoo on his neck. The funny part about this is that day was Halloween. The one day he could wear a mask downtown Timmins and nobody would think twice. He's walking in to the CIBC looking up at the camera to show off his snake tattoo. I used my detective skills to figure out who it was before even seeing the video. That's how good I was. I drive about half a block. Half a block. He's sitting on a bench with a buddy, half a block away from the bank. I was like, it's like I'm on an episode of Law and Order. I place him under arrest, and right away he looks at me, right away. He's like, I know my rights. Yeah, I know you do. So I start handcuffing him. The buddy that was beside him starts to have a drug overdose while I'm arresting this guy. So right away, I call for an ambulance, right? I take out the Narcan spray, right? Shove it up his nose. The guy that I'm arresting, snake guy, he's like, that Narcan spray doesn't work. Of course it does. He says, it does not work. If somebody's overdosing, you know what you do? What do? You splash water in his face. And you twist his nipples like you're trying to open up a pickle jar. Doesn't sound like fun? Oh, man. You also get to deal, if we have any, I know we do have some young people here that are interested in a career in policing, or if you have parents here that have kids or grandkids that want to become police officers, make sure they know that they are going to deal with a lot of idiots. All right? Sometimes you're going to have to deal with intoxicated idiots. That is one of the hardest things to do. We were dealing with this drunk guy one time, and I was with the K-9 unit, and I literally heard this guy say, listen here, Constable Canini. I know my rights. All right. Another thing you're going to get a lot when you become a police officer, you're going to deal with a lot of naked people. Think about it. If you're at home and you look out your front window and you see some dude walking by completely naked, after you take a couple pics for your social media or your own personal collection, whatever you're into, who are you going to call? Somebody said Ghostbusters. Just gave away your age there. Right, you're going to call the police. If you see a naked person, that's the first thing you do. You call the police. Now, I got a call. Okay, I don't want to name the place, but it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to offend anybody, let alone my friend who's at home playing Xbox right now, but I got a call, and I'll describe the place. This way here, you guys will know what I'm talking about. Let's just say you're a person who doesn't have a home. And you're looking for shelter, and you have no tent. I think everybody's got it. I get called to this place. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So what happened was there was a guy in there, he was having a really bad drug trip, right? And they were like, don't call the cops, don't call the cops. Because they want to make sure the person's okay. Don't call the cops, it's going to be fine. Don't let... And he's just yelling and screaming, so they lock him in the front lobby of this place. And he starts freaking out. He's punching holes in the wall. There was like a rack with pamphlets. He threw that to the ground. There was a sofa in there. He flipped over the sofa. And they're like, don't call the cops. It's going to be fine. Don't call the cops. And then he stripped down, buck-ass nude. First thing they said, call the cops. I've got to see this. Like, that's... So 3 o'clock in the morning, I get there. There's nobody at the door. Now, there's a window. I could see inside, and sure enough, the guy is completely naked. He's just standing there naked. And I didn't mean to look there. But when you're looking at someone that's standing there, you see all of them. And this guy was like standing at attention. Like he was standing, he had like a... Like I don't know what kind of drugs he was taking, but there was something in there. So, and he's yelling and screaming, and so I knock on the window like, buddy, right? And he looks back at me, and it was, again, one of those moments where you connect with somebody. He was staring into my eyes, like, right into my soul. Like he was looking inside while he was looking at me. And I look back at him, and as he's looking directly into my soul, he runs over to the sofa that he had flipped over. While looking directly into my eyes, he starts to hump the sofa. And he wasn't making love to the sofa. He was aggressively humping the sofa. While looking directly into my soul. And I'm looking back at him going, am I having a threesome with another man in a sofa right now? The lady comes by to unlock the door. I'm like, can you open the door, please? You know, open the door. And she stops, and she's like, oh, hey, Constable Rick, how are you? Oh my God, he's humping the sofa. I know he's humping the sofa. I've been watching him for 2 minutes. Because I can't look away. I have to make sure he's safe. She goes to unlock the door, and this lady says, should we let him finish? And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? It'd probably be way easier for me if we did. Because you know after you finish, you're like, bleh. You're not going to want to fight. You're not going to have the energy. You're going to be like Jell-O. But I said, it's your sofa, so you tell me what you would like here. She says, oh my God, no. And she opens the door. This guy stops humping the sofa, and he comes charging at me. He's looking at me like I'm a piece of furniture. You know what I mean? Like he... And I'm looking at him going, yeah, I'm not going to be your love seat. All right, buddy? This is... So I hate to say this, I really do, because I know there's a lot of people in the communities that don't like when police have to use force. But I saw the way he was looking at me, and I tased him. I'm sorry. I saw what he did to the sofa, and that was not going to happen to me. So there's no way. So I go to handcuff him, and he's trying, as I'm trying to handcuff him, he's trying to cup my testicles. In a nice, playful way, but still, I'm not into it. You know what I mean? I'm not... So I handcuff him, right? If anybody's curious if the taser had an impact on his erection, none. Actually, it might have gotten harder. Sir's like, oh, I maybe could use a taser from now on at a time. So I get him now. I don't have to search him. Cause, naked, right? So I just say bend over. And this was the only part of the whole exchange where he was right into it. He's like, yeah. So I'm just searching you, buddy. I get him in the back of my cruiser now, and I gotta drive him to the hospital. Because this guy, first of all, he was tased, right? He's having a really bad drug trip, right? He's completely naked. He didn't get to finish. It's not a good night. The next time you're having a bad night, think of this guy. This guy, that is not a good night. So I get him in the back of the car. I have a blanket in the back of my car in the trunk because we deal with a lot of naked people, and I want to cover them up, right? Just to be respectful. So I cover this guy up, and now I'm driving to the hospital, and he's in the back of my car, and I don't know how he's doing it. To this day, I can't figure it out. He's in the back of my car. He's moaning and groaning like he's about to... Patow! Yeah. Trying to keep it PG-13 here. He's about to... Patow! And now I'm going to the hospital, lights and sirens. I know it's not an emergency, but it's an emergency, all right? I'm driving full pin to get to the hospital, and he's getting quicker. His moans and groans are quicker and faster. And I'm thinking, he's handcuffed. How is he doing this? I think I speak for the most of us. For me to patow, I either need to touch myself or preferably have somebody else touch me. This guy's handcuffed. He's telepathically masturbating in the back of my car. I turn the corner at the hospital and patow, he let it go. I let him keep the blanket. You can keep it. I have a fun idea though for tonight. This is something I think would be a lot of fun. And it'll add some humor even after you leave here tonight. When you get home and you're getting intimate with your better half at home, right before you're about to patow, say that. Just say, oh baby, I'm about to patow! Just say it like that as you're patowing. It would be even better if your better half is not here tonight. That would be even better. All right, truth be told, I just want everybody thinking of me tonight when they patow. That's all it is. If you could record it and send it to me, it'd be hilarious. I could put it on the video. We'll see it on TV. You'll get famous. I'm thinking, I worry a little bit when I share these types of stories and I hear of young people wanting to become police officers. I want you to think of this generation, the next generation coming up, the 17 to 24-year-olds that are going to become police officers. I think, how are they going to cope with somebody telepathically masturbating in the back of their cruiser? Because like it or not, we raised a bunch of mamuns. We did too much for them, and now they can't handle anything. It's true. That's why I said it. I heard somebody, it's true. Could you imagine this next generation of young people getting punched in the face or spit on? They'd start crying. I did not give you permission to spit on me. I'm going to put you in timeout. And I'm calling my mom. You're in big trouble, buddy. You're in big trouble. Because this generation, I think, take things a little too far. They really do. Even music. Sometimes they take music too far. Like my dad grew up listening to Elvis. He had the big sideburns. Cool. I grew up in the 80s. I listened to Def Leppard. I had a mullet, and I loved my mullet, man. It was freaking awesome. I loved my mullet. This new generation of people, they listen to songs like Barbie Girl, and when you look at them on social media now, they use these filters, and they look like they're plastic. And there's another song that some took really literally. The song that they took really literally was from Timmins' own Shania Twain. It's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Some of them took that one serious. That one's gonna get an email for sure. That one, somebody is gonna message me. I never took music that serious. The only song I really took literal was Come On Eileen. That was one. But her name wasn't even Eileen, so it's not even the same. It was Pam. And she asked. I didn't see a problem with it. It's funny because you ask people, today they have a hard time recruiting new police officers. They have a hard time, and people are trying to figure out why. Why can't we recruit new police officers? I honestly think it's social media, right? Social media has really put a negative spin, a negative, negativity towards the career of policing. Not just policing, a lot of other careers. I want you to think about this. If you're scrolling on social media and you see a video of a police officer helping an old lady cross the street, is your first thought, share? Probably not. But if you see that same police officer smack the old lady upside the head, you're going to share that one. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons that and even, like if you look at other careers, teachers are taking a shit kicking online, even doctors. Man, when we went through the whole pandemic, there were some doctors that were for the vaccine, some that were not for the vaccine, and they would fight online. Professionals, doctors fighting online. I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to know. I went to my doctor and I said, what should I do? And he said, you should get the vaccine. All right, whatever. He's like, and he gave me like a bunch of different, I'm like, whatever, okay. I'm not sick, everything's fine. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's right. But I asked him about it. I said, what do you think of doctors who are against vaccines? And he said it to me best. He said, listen, if you're in this field and you don't agree with your own science, you should be fired. And I started thinking, yeah, it'd be like having a firefighter who didn't believe that water put out fire. You're probably going to get fired, you know what I mean? Or if you have a police officer who abused their authority and hurt okay, that one's probably not going to get fired. I mean, but they would be suspended with pay for at least 2 years. Minus 40 hours, thank you. I'll do the jokes, all right? They'd lose 40 hours of pay to slap that person upside the head. And this is the funny thing. You see it online every once in a while. People talk about defunding the police. We should defund the police. And I thought, who are we going to send when the crackhead is naked swinging a machete over his head at the park? I actually got that call before. Who are we going to send? What do you guys think? Defunding the police? Yay or nay? Is anybody here for yay, defund the police? I'm not going to say it now, I'm guessing. He's in the back going fucking stewing. The police arrested me. I don't know why they arrested me. I know my rights. I think if we were to defund the police it would become a shit show. Right? We're short on police officers now. What's going on? Shit show. We need officers. It's funny that it become a shit show because another reason why we might not be getting a lot of people applying to become police officers is you do deal with a lot of shit shows. And when I say shit show, I really mean it. You're going to deal with people after they've shit themselves. That is the grossest thing. These grown people, grown-ups, shitting themselves and just standing there. Like if I shit myself, I'm running. I'm looking for toilet paper and some clean clothes. These guys are just, You don't feel that? I actually got into community service when I was a police officer, and I was excited because throughout the school year I thought, okay, I don't have to deal with any more naked people, and I don't have to deal with anybody who shits themselves. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait. I'm working. I go to a school. I'm going to talk to the kindergarten kids, 4 years old, about 911. So what I do is at recess, I go out and play with the kids. Okay, there's got to be a better way of saying that. I go out and I play dodgeball with the kids. That sounds bad too, actually. There's something not right about that one. But I did play dodgeball. I go out and I play dodgeball with the kids, and man, they regretted asking me to play dodgeball with them because I kicked their ass so bad. But after recess, I'm standing there, and all the kids are coming in, and I'm giving them high fives, officer friendly, the whole thing. And there's one kid at the back of the schoolyard, and he's just crying. And the teachers are like, Samuel, viens-t'en, Sam, come on. And he's not coming. So I said, I'll go get him. I'm here. I'll go get him. I start walking to the back of the schoolyard, and as I got closer to him, I start to realize why he wasn't coming. Because I could smell it. It was another shit show. But at least this kid was crying, going, oh my God, and I'm like, I don't know why I did this. I know it looks ridiculous. I felt for him because the way he smelled, I thought, man, if this kid goes back to school smelling like this, he's going to be known as shithead for the rest of his life. Like at his grade 12 graduation, his buddies are going to be like, hey, don't shit your pants when you get up on the stage. Like that'll follow him forever. And I just wanted to make him laugh a little bit. And I know it looks ridiculous. I walked up to this little 4-year-old who had just shit his pants at school, and I went, y a-t-il quelqu'un qui a fait caca dans tes culottes? I'll translate it because I'm not sure if everybody speaks French. I went down and I went, did somebody poop in your pants? But his little 4-year-old brain thought, oh, I have a way out of this. Because he literally said, oui, c'est Stéphane! And I just wanted to support him. I'm like, Stéphane! J'espère qu'il faut pas caca dans mes culottes. I hope he doesn't poop in my pants. Imagine blaming somebody else for shitting in your pants. I got back on the road that summer. I get a call at St. Charles Tavern, this little tavern in Timmins. And I get there, there's a bunch of people fighting. And I get there, and you find the aggressor when you're a police officer, whoever's the aggressive one. I found the aggressor, and I place him under arrest, right? I'm bringing him to my car. I'm about to search him, and we got a shit show live and in person. Because usually it would happen when they were in the back of the car, in the cells, or before I got there. I had never seen it live. Like I saw it and heard it, like in his pants. And right away, I was like, Stéphane! On se tabarnak! I got this guy. I'm like, I don't want to put him in my car, because I'll tell you right now, that stinks. It is horrible. It's a horrible smell. It's brutal. Luckily, there was another officer that was driving by. And he said, hey, do you guys need help? I said, no, and I could barely contain it. No. It's fine here, but can you transport this prisoner back to the office for me, please? In his head, he's thinking, great, I don't have to deal with any of these drunk people. Yeah, put him in. Did you search him? Oh, yeah. Got him in the back of the car. He drives like 10 feet. The best part, everybody that was fighting stopped. They're like, oh my God, he's putting the shitty guy in the other guy's car. Let's wait, let's watch this. I don't want to fight anymore. Let's watch this and go have a couple drinks. That officer, man, I had another call with that officer. He was one of those guys, and I mean, you have them in all your workplaces. He was one of those guys who tries to avoid, like he was showing up late at that fight call because he was just always the guy that doesn't do anything. You know those people that you work with? Right? Everybody's got them. They just don't do stuff. I don't know how else to say it. They just don't do stuff. I get a call. I start my shift. I'm in the car. And all of a sudden I get a call. Hey, can you attend in South Porcupine? Right on the highway. We got a report of a man streaking. I thought, fuck, another naked guy. But I like to make people laugh. So I said, 10-4, can you describe him for me, please? Like there'd be more than one naked guy running around South Porcupine, Ontario. She's like, 10-4, he's about 6 feet tall, brown hair, and I was told it's 3 inches. That was my dispatcher, off the cuff like that. She should be a comedian. Now I'm driving there and I'm panicking because I'm thinking, what if I find him and it's like 2 inches? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do I let him go? He does not match the description. So I find this guy. He's now on Main Street, right off of Herald, right off the highway. And he's completely naked. And I don't know what these people are doing, what kind of drugs they're taking, because he was also standing at attention. I get him up against the car, and I handcuff him. And this guy is so sweaty that he's wet. Ew. Yeah. He's like a naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy. I have him up against the car, and and he's like shedding. Like, and I would have gave him a blanket, but the other guy, that patowed, kept my blanket. I gave it to him. So I have him up against the car. That officer all of a sudden shows up. As soon as I say I got him under arrest, the other officer, oh yeah, okay. He shows up. He knows he doesn't have to deal with the naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy. He's parked behind my cruiser. I let go of the naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy to unlock the door. And the naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy takes off running. And now I'm chasing a naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy while he's running towards the highway. He's in my custody. If he gets hurt, I'm going to lose way more than 40 hours of pay. I can tell you that right now. And I'm trying to catch him, and I got to tell you, people are way easier to catch when they have clothes on. Because you have something to grab on. Like, he's hairy, but the hair is ripping out. You got... And it's slippery because he's wet. And I'm yelling at him, please stop. I don't want to have to tackle a naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy. That's not how I thought I'd spend my day, you know? So I'm, please stop, please. And he's not stopping, and I'm chasing after him, and I tackle a naked, sweaty, wet, hairy, handcuffed guy right on the pavement. And then it was 2 inches. like to do, if it's okay with you guys, just to get serious for a minute, all the first responders in the room, all the police officers, paramedics, firefighters, nurses, doctors, can you please stand up? Seriously, I want you to stand up. We're just going to give you a big round of applause, because that job is tough. I know I can't see you. I'm hoping you're standing. You deserve this. All right? Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Most people don't want to do this kind of thing, right? So, man, I can't believe this. I'm looking at the time. I've been up here for almost an hour. Can you believe this? Almost an hour. I want to share something with you guys about my career. About my policing career. I really loved it. I did. I know I made fun of it tonight. There is some funny stuff that happens. But trust me, I worked with some amazing police officers. From this area and across North America, I've trained hundreds of officers, and I've dealt with a lot of police officers, and they want to do the right thing. By far, most of them, have good hearts. And I loved my career. I didn't get to do all the things I wanted to do, though. I used to watch Law & Order like everybody else, and I wanted to be a detective. I wanted to wear a suit. This is why I'm wearing a suit tonight, because as a police officer, I never got to wear a suit. So I put a suit on tonight. I want to wear a suit. I want to investigate major crimes. This is what I want to do. I want to be part of ERT. Everybody know what ERT stands for? Yeah? Emergency Response Team, right? There's a lot of acronyms in policing. I want to be part of ERT. I wanted to, but when in 2002, my supervisor heard me talking like Scooby-Doo to some kids, and then I became officer friendly for the rest of my career. And it's true. I taught a lot of kids that are here today. And don't get me wrong, I loved it, but I didn't get to do those things. I always used to think ERT, a lot of people don't know that. Most people are more familiar with SWAT. Right? You know SWAT is also an acronym? Did you know that? Does anybody know what SWAT stands for? Say it again? Special Weapons and Tactics. So I worked for the Timmins Police Service. I went to administration. I said, we should change our name from ERT to something closer to SWAT. We should change it to something like Timmins Weapons and Tactics. For some reason, administration was against the idea. They didn't think. I was thinking, I could probably sell this hat. When I start doing shows in the States, I could sell this to like half of the Americans. I would just tell them it stands for Trump will always triumph. And you're like, yeah, no, that stands for Trump will always triumph. I'm sorry. How dare you impregnate my daughter? If you weren't my brother, I'd kill you. I'm sorry. Oh, come on, Pa. All right. I don't know if we have any. It makes me laugh because even in my little community of Timmins, I saw some people with like Trump 2025 stickers on their trucks. I'm like, you even know where you live? And then on the back, I saw F. Trudeau. So I thought, oh yeah, okay, they know. They know where they live. I want to share something with you guys. It's going to get a little silly right now, but I think it's important. Do we have any young parents here? A round of applause, the young parents. We got some over here. I wanted to give you some information, because when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, we used to have Sesame Street. And on Sesame Street, they had a song called The People in Your Neighborhood. If you guys remember it, I'm sure the parents here remember it. Remember it used to be, these are the people in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Oh, these are the people in your neighborhood. The people that you meet each day. You remember that? And then have like, the mailman delivers the mail through rain and sleet and hail. He'll work and work the whole day through to get all your mail to you. Remember how awesome that was? What I did was, for the young people in the audience that have little kids, I rewrote the lyrics to reflect the new people in our neighborhood. Just to help you out a little bit. All right? The first part, we could all do it together. The first part, we all know it. Everybody ready? These are the people in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Oh, these are the people in your neighborhood, the people that you meet each day. Oh, the porch pirate likes to steal your mail through rain and sleet and hail. He'll work and work the whole day through to steal all your shit from you. 'Cause a porch pirate is a person in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. He's in your neighborhood. A porch pirate is a person in your neighborhood, person that we meet each day. Oh, the homeless work the whole day through in front of Dollarama to beg you. They'll ask you for some things that you bought. Even if you say no, it's worth a shot. 'Cause the homeless is a person in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. A homeless is a person in your neighborhood, a person that you meet each day. Oh, a crackhead is scary, it's said, waving a machete over their head. If you want to bring the kids to the park, be sure to report them, you fucking narc. 'Cause a crackhead is a person in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. He's in your neighborhood. A crackhead is a person in your neighborhood, a person that you see each day. All right, there's one more, but it might not be in your neighborhood. They're in my neighborhood. They might be in your neighborhood. I thought I'd give you the advice, even if they're not in your neighborhood, they could move in at any time. So these are people down the street from my place. All right. Oh, the swingers live down the street, trying to get you between the sheets. They wink and flirt with you and your spouse. They're trying to get into your house. 'Cause the swingers are some people in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. They're in your neighborhood. Swingers are some people in your neighborhood, the people that you fuck each day. All right. Yeah, thank you so much. I am so thankful for you for being here tonight and being a part of this. Good night, everybody. Thank you.